Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Wizards Outlook. I got Raymond Lyons tonight. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. And again, we're going to talk about the latest with the Washington Wizards. I mean, you're not supposed to. Why you already going to start laughing already? That early? They fell. They fell to the Miami Heat 128, 124. That said, there was quite a arguably, the three best players were not available this evening. Russ was out with a quad injury. He also hasn't really played back-to-backs, I believe, like in the last 2 years. So I don't know how serious the injury is, but I wasn't shocked at him sitting off because it was just a back. I figured he wasn't going to play. Literally, just off the nature of it being back-to-back. And then Brad, with how the NBA is dealing with COVID and contract tracing and any type of thing, they found out last minute with Brad, and he was not available to them. Then the game starts and they lose Thomas Bryant early. We just know it's a knee injury. We don't know how severe it is. So a lot of things happen. That said, they fall 128, 124 to the Miami Heat. Ray, we'll start with you. Just your initial thoughts on that
one. First and foremost, just hope, TB's injury isn't that serious and he's able to, to get back as soon as possible. It sucks. He's been playing really well. He's been a big part of, what they've been doing so far this season. So, just, wish the best of luck to him in regards to that. As far as the game goes, this is a rerun. This seems to be their MO. Get down big, fight back, and barely lose. If they like it, I love it, man. I don't know what more to say, but I'm utterly confused at this point because you get the same exact result with, like you said, their three best players out. So I don't know, man. Like, how can you? It's mind-boggling. Like, I don't get it.
would you have felt better like if they got punched with that many people out? Because you know what I'm saying. Like, how does it make you feel knowing that when they're as close to healthy as possible? Like, it still could have been a similar result, except maybe throw on another 20 or 30 points with Brad, possibly going nuts. This one could have literally been the difference there. So.
Right, yeah, I don't understand how you get the same output with, when you're just so severely undermanned like this. But, such is life. And just a couple positive notes. The games when Neto starts, they start faster. They come out with a great wings, great pace, and great energy. Garrison Matthews for the second straight game, he provided a spark off the bench. Robin Lopez played well. But again, they got to play some defense at some point. You can't keep allowing teams to bomb you from three like this. I don't know, man. I don't have the answer. Apparently, neither do they. But something's got to give. And then you add that to the fact that Bam's minutes were limited because of foul trouble, and you still couldn't find a way to put yourself in a better position. So I just don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this team. Maybe they need one of those players only meetings that every struggling team has a year, and they get a spark. I don't know, but it's just wild to see, and it's actually comical at this point that every single game plays out this way. I'm interested to see how many games in a row they can make happen like this, because I'm flabbergasted. All you can do is laugh at this point.
Yeah, it just, like you said, it does make sense. There's a legit script. We're 9 games in, whatever. They're 2-7 or 2-8 now, right? 2-8. So 10 games in, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Check that. But yeah, I figured they were the battle on the glass was gonna be tough just because Miami's a good rebounding team, period.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Bam does play a lot with them out, we got an example to see how it really is by committee down there because They went on the glass 67-48. You know, Bam, I think hold on, Bam had 16.
15 or something like that.
Yeah,
16.
16 of the 67. Tyler Hero had 9. Like, again, as a group, they were boarding. I mean, that was on both ends. There was a couple of times, again, like you said, some of this, you know, some of the things that some parts of the script that play out the same way. The Washington would get a stop, and then some teams get 5 chances of possession because of offensive rebounds, or, you know, just not being able to close, like fully close out the defensive possession with a rebound. And then with Miami, I want to know where the defense was in this one. Like, Brad wasn't, again, Washington was missing Brad, Russ, TB. You gave up 124 points. I know we saw them lock in for the third quarter. That might have been the only quarter where it looked like Miami played Miami defense. They won that quarter 28-15. And then they followed that performance up. Like, Washington outscored Miami 38-25 in the fourth. And Miami they had a couple droughts during the quarter. I know you brought up Garrett Matthews, and I'm interested to see just what ends up happening in terms of him moving up the rotation or another team coming by and taking him. You know, just asking for his services, because when he's in there, I mean, there's legit effort in defensive end. It's always a sense of urgency, and he doesn't seem to do too much on offensive end. Like, it's within himself. Like, I don't think over the last few years, or anytime I've seen him, I'm never like, oh man, you're doing too much. I didn't really feel that way. I like the game. You know, we got to see Denny and Rui without, kind of like, you know, low key without the adults around. And they were fine. I enjoyed that. But again, like we keep saying, I don't really care about it offensively. I did like how the ball moved more without you know, their all-star backcourt there. And that's something where when they return, like, the ball needs to continue to move like that. I don't care that they're there, but like, it would only help all parties involved, the ball continue to move like that. It doesn't make sense that it moves like that when, in the games, like you said, when Neto starts, it's a whole different vibe from the beginning of the game. The defensive side doesn't change anything, but again, just as far as the ball moving a little bit more, it feels like it doesn't feel as sticky as other nights. I don't know. It just feels like they have a little bit of a better rhythm, and I don't even want to take that the wrong way or go crazy. Again, just talking about, you know, there's a difference. We're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and that's one of the things that is legitimately a difference some nights. And then want to give credit to Washington. They took care of the ball. And that's the other thing. You're missing pretty much both of your high usage guys. You had 6 turnovers tonight. You want to talk about putting yourself in a position to not get blown out. You had 6 turnovers. On the other hand, Miami, it's not like they had 30 turnovers. They turned it over 16 times, but Washington scored 24 points off those turnovers. Complete opposite of what happened to Washington last night against Boston, where Boston feasted off those turnovers. They made a living. That's one of the ways that Washington stayed around and, stayed in this game, because it wasn't defensively. They had a couple stretches where they played solid defense, but all right, so this is what Washington did defensively tonight. They gave them 47 in the first, 28 in the second and third quarters, and 25 in the fourth. At some point, man. At some point. And it's not, and again, Duncan Robinson didn't go nuts.
Right.
Jimmy had a good game. Dragic was doing whatever he wanted. I didn't understand with Dragic how after he hit the first couple of threes, like, you've seen him for years, it kept going underneath the screen. And again, that's kind of like where my issue with I know everyone's like, get the coach out here and everything else is like, yeah, I get that. Not a top 10 coach or anything of that nature, but it's just like the little things where I don't think we should absolve the players totally from this. It just doesn't make sense. Again, like the little things, it just doesn't add up. Night after night, it just doesn't add up.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And again, just like Boston did, Miami was kind of leaving the door open for them.
Yeah.
They had their dry spell, and Washington just matched it. Like I don't get it. You know,
I
it's
think they cut it to like, because they cut it to like, was it 3 or 5 late, and they had the position to whittle it down just a little bit, and they essentially threw the next 2 possessions away. And
right.
again, how you've been talking, I know I hit you earlier. You're like, might as well replay what you said last night. Like, it's not that far off. And I'm gonna keep tweeting this until it stops. But they waste so many empty possessions at the end of games. It's like you did all the work to get to stay within striking range. You did enough work to close the gap, and then quick shot, bad read. Why? You know, I don't know. And the other thing that's hanging over all of this is the TV's out for an extended period of time. Like, you could kind of throw this. The conversations in the following weeks get really interesting.
Yeah, man. You know, and hopefully for him, it's not that serious. Not only from from an availability standpoint, just for him in general. But yeah, you're right, man. If he's out for a long stretch, then
that accelerates some clocks.
Yeah, I don't know how much worse it can get, but whatever the degree of falling off they can do, they're going to do it because they need him. They need him, man.
But not only that, if he's out, say again, where the worst case scenario is everyone would like him back. I very much hope that it is extremely minor. Because the Wizards already been going through it, but they can't afford for him to be gone. Like, I know Lopez had a solid game tonight, scoring in the paint, but that was it on the boards. Again, I told you the number on the boards. At 67? 67 rebounds, dude. But I want to go see. Look, now I want to go find how many times Miami shot the ball tonight. They shot 93 times.
How many offensive rebounds they have?
Give me 1 second. Washington shot 99 times. These numbers always make it feel worse afterwards. You see how many offensive rebounds? 10.
So you're getting more attempts and taking care of the ball better, and still finding a way to lose because
even with the threes, as crazy as Dragic and Hero went. Washington hit one less three. Miami was 16 for 43. Washington was 15 of 40. Washington got to the line 2 more times. Again, like you go through like your little checklist of what you want a team to do.
Yeah, like they're checking off more boxes. Like it's like what was the assist numbers?
You put me to work over here right now. Washington had 25 assists on 44 field goals, 44 made field goals. Okay, here we go. Miami had 32 assists on 46 made field goals. But still, you had more possession. You had more shots than them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You went to the line more, and you hit more free throws. You hit 21 free throws. They hit 20. You were 21 of 28. They were 20 of 26. Again, they turned the ball over 10 more times than me. Like, again, if you're like just on some coach stuff, you just checking boxes. Like, I would feel better if we couldn't check any of the boxes and be like, all right, you're just bad at everything.
Right. Away. Like they're in position literally almost every night, but they got to stop falling into these big holes because they're insurmountable given the status of the team as is. Like we just got to be real about that. They're not good enough to try to survive this way because obviously it's not working. They're 2-8. So, and then like if they're a little more solid on defense early in the game, they give themselves a wiggle room for when they do go through these dry spells because they're bound to happen. As opposed to having to claw your way back and then the dry spell hits and allows the team to push the lead back up again. And then you don't have anything left in the tank to to claw your way out of that hole. So man,
look, and it's tough. Again, they scored that many points. $85 million man tonight. 1 for 7. So it's not like he had a huge night with the other adults missing.
right.
It's just increasingly frustrating. I think, and like you said with the starts, it doesn't make sense to go to that better of a start when Raul's at the 1. They got to figure that out too. One, getting off to a better start, and 2, getting off to a better start would alleviate some of Brad carrying so much weight early to where he's done late. Like ideally, lead on others to get stuff done early. You can let your big money guys close late, but if you're wasting all their bullets in the first half, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want them to do? Because it's good that it's great that you have someone on your team that could get 60. That is great. I would much rather it be something where I need my guy. Go give me 10 or 15 in the fourth when I need it. If it needs to be 20, it needs to be 20 or whatever. Exactly. They got to figure that out too. And one thing, I don't know if they're gonna end up doing it, but what I did enjoy was I want to see more Rui and Denny without the adults on the court. Because I think that's something where you can do that when Russ and Brad aren't on there, where like Denny's a good enough playmaker with whoever the point guard is on the floor, whether it's Ish, Sneto, or whatever, and you keep some size on the floor. Right. But I think that's the other thing too. They're gonna have this rotation needs to be adjusted a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take a look at that, given as how some lineups mesh differently than others, but bottom line, they got to defend. You can't keep scoring 70 points in a half and being down. Like that's ridiculous.
You were missing what's Brad's average this year? It's the night without them playing. Thomas played 1 minute and 53 seconds. So you were missing at least 40 combined points tonight, 45 combined points from those 3, right? It's not there, not available to you, and you had more than enough to score. Like we continue to say each and every night, we're going to end it because, again, I'm about to get to where you are. I'm about to start looking up different ways to say defense in different languages or something, so I'm not saying it in English so many times. But this is what this is, man. They got to figure it out. And it was I wish I could find this tweet. Somebody was really, really good with somebody talking about because all fan bases complain about their teams and what their coaches are doing in rotations. It's sports these days. Everyone has a better idea than what the people that are paid to do are doing because right. That's just I've come to accept it and it's fine. Also check out Draymond Green's quote from last night post game. It's pretty good. His thoughts on people and understanding awesome. The game and whatnot. It was fun, but it was somebody saying essentially people talking about this Oubre's going through a shooting out in Golden State. And we know obviously missing Klay Thompson. I don't care what you put on the court. It's one of the greatest shooters of all time. You take him off the court. They had 2 of the greatest shooters of all time. You take one away. We know what life looks like when one of them's gone from the other and you just get to focus all your attention and stuff
right.
But essentially the quote was saying I'd rather deal with having an all-time great shooter surrounded by a bunch of folks that could defend and just deal with the growing pains of someone going through a slump. Like Kelly's going through it. Kerr's no, I'm not taking him out the lineup because that's our best defensive lineup. We're not going to. I don't essentially. Yes, you're going through it, but that's not the end of the floor. I care about most.
Right.
And that's something where the first thing I saw that I was like. Exactly. Because there's gonna be nights where he hits a bunch of those shots, and there's gonna be nights when he doesn't. And guess what? There's 10, 12 other guys, and there's gonna be nights where the last guy scores enough for the both of them. So it doesn't matter, right? But what you are gonna need is stops. They came back last night against the Clippers. Stops. So yeah, you're missing corner threes, you're missing your open looks. That's cool. You know what you can't replace? You bothering Kawhi, you bothering Paul George, you taking up someone else's airspace, you just being your generally annoying self on a defensive end, and that's the thing. Watching that's fine. Like obviously they don't have the personnel Golden State has, but someone here is going to want to have to care about that end of the floor greatly. It's gonna take because again, offense hasn't been the issue here for like 4 years.
Right.
Maybe 5. We can keep counting the other way, but it's one end of the floor. You can change the people. Doesn't matter. It's one end of the floor. And that's the whole thing is like everyone's going straight to the coach. And even if you switch the coach, I don't know what coach you're going to bring in here that's going to suddenly make people want to play defense. Like that's a personal thing. I don't understand it, but I guess we will see. They get a day off. Then Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and company are here. Yeah. Again, bunch of teams that can score, but like Ray continues to say, this the same story almost each and every night, folks. But y'all have a good one. We'll see you guys. What is it? Monday night, I think they play. Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah,
Monday. Tuesday night for the focus. You guys have a good one. Don't forget, get over to finestbag.com, amonsports.com. And Ray, yours.
What's up? Oh, yeah, go to at hoops_realist on IG and lionsdensports.com as well.
All right, I just need to hear it. So now lionsdensports.com. See, it's easy. So finestmag.com, amonsports.com, lionsdensports.com. And we will see you very, very soon. Have a good night. Enjoy your day off from the Wizards. What is another wild card day full of football tomorrow? So you guys go ahead and enjoy all of that. For some of you, I hope you've enjoyed wild card first day of wild card football. For the rest of you, I'm sorry, Seahawks fans. That's all I got for you. That's it.